Hi guys, today I'm diving deep into a traditional Chinese dish, Yong Tau Foo, also known as stuffed tofu. It has abundance of texture from the different vegetables that we used, stuffed with a tasty, succulent, sweet, aromatic fish paste that's made from scratch. So Yong Tau Foo literally translates into stuffed tofu, and it's stuffed with fish paste, all right? And it's become one of my family's favorite things to eat. I ate a lot of this stuff growing up. My mom used to make the best fish balls from scratch. So today, I'm gonna show it to you. Here we have a nice fresh piece of mackerel, okay, or ikan tenggiri, as we call it locally here in Malaysia. And it's of utmost importance that the fish is fresh, okay? Look at the eyes, nice and glistening. And this, I've sort of got the fishmonger to butterfly the fish so that we can easily scrape out the meat of the fish, okay? So first off, the fish paste, let's go. We take a spoon and all we do is just scrape the meat out. Now when we do this, the meat mashes together and we don't waste any meat on the skin. Feel with your fingers for any bones. If there are, be sure to remove them. All right, and this is done. As you can see, we've scraped up all the flesh from the fish, and this you can discard. Now we transfer it to a mixing bowl. I'm going to be combining this with some prawns. Now this is completely optional. If you're feeling a little bit luxurious, you can add the prawns in. This is again completely optional. I'm just adding in some extra ingredients for aromatics here. I've got some spring onion and coriander. You don't typically find this in a Yong Tau Foo recipe, but I love coriander and spring onion. They add to a nice freshness to the flavor of the fish paste. All right, so to the fish and prawn meat, we're adding in a 1/4 cup of fried shallots. Now the fried shallot is going to elevate the flavor. We're going to transfer all of this into a food processor and whip everything together. All right, once it's nice and combined, we can remove it from the food processor. All right, now we take our aromatics, our fresh spring onion and coriander, add that in, and now here comes the fun part. Now, you know how fish ball has that sort of nice bouncy consistency, right? If you're wondering how you get that, this gives you that nice sort of bouncy consistency that we all love in a fish ball or fish paste. You want to repeat this slamming into a bowl a good maybe 7-8 times. Now, as you do this, you can sort of feel the paste already having a certain bounce to it. And the more you do this, the bouncier your fish ball is going to get. This is the consistency that we're going for. Yeah? Sort of has a nice... This is the same recipe you can use if you're making fish balls. Yeah, you just have a separate bowl of salted ice water on the side, and can either use a ice cream scoop or a whatever type of baller, make them into balls and sit them inside the ice water until they're ready to cook. Okay, there you go. This is a perfect fish ball. I'm gonna slap this a couple more times. We're gonna let this rest for a while and start preparing our vegetables. We're gonna start off with bitter gourd. I absolutely love bitter gourd in a Yong Tau Foo. Yeah. So I'm gonna slant cut them, and you want them nice and sort of thick, because the thicker it is, the more fish paste you are going to be able to fill on the inside. And also cutting them diagonally just gives you more surface area to fill your bitter gourd. Take a spoon and we're gonna dig out the white parts. I prepared a small bowl of water. This is just to wet the hands and makes it sort of a lot easier to handle the fish paste because it can get a bit sticky. Okay, so what you want to do is take a spoon and stuff the filling into the vegetable. Just use a spoon and sort of even it up. Okay, back side as well. And there we have one. You can smell the aromas of the fried shallot, the coriander, the spring onion that we've added in. It's just going to give a lot of dimension to something as simple as a fish paste. Next, we have an eggplant. Okay? Now, what we do with this eggplant, we make an insertion almost to the bottom, but not all the way down. And at the second cut, we cut all the way down. So we have a bit of a pocket going on here to fill our fish paste. All right, and we repeat the process. Use the back of your spoon, sort of force the stuffing in there, clean off the edges, and there you go. This is a firm tofu, yeah? Cut it diagonally, make an incision, so we have an opening. All right, next up, I've got some green chilies. All right, now what we want to do with the green chilies, make an incision, get a teaspoon and gently just scrape out all those seeds. And then we start our filling. All right, next up we have some capsicum. Now this isn't typically something you would find in a Yong Tau Foo restaurant, but I've tried it somewhere and it's absolutely delicious, capsicum. You know, when you fry it, that nice sweetness that you get from the capsicum with the savory fish in the inside pairs really, really well. So now that our oil is nice and hot, we're going to begin our frying process. There we go, beautiful. Start off with the terongs, the eggplants. Terongs, what we call it here in Malaysia. You want the oil at a medium-high heat, okay? Because in these vegetables that we fry, if your oil is not hot enough, the vegetable is just going to get soggy, and the vegetable is going to absorb all that oil, so that once you put it in, the frying process begins immediately. All right, so here I have bean curd skin that have been hydrated. The way I've done this is you want to sort of pass it through some water, yeah, dip it in some water or run it under the tap and then leave it out, okay, and then toss it. Because if you soak it, it's going to just break up. All you want to do is hydrate it to a point where it's workable, something where you can sort of roll or fold. Cut them into lengths like this so that we can fill it here and then we can roll. Now there are various ways of how you can spread this out. You can keep everything in the middle and then just fold it over. That's one way as well. Or you can do like what I'm doing and then we're gonna roll it up. There we go. So we get this beautiful roll that's filled with the fish paste on the inside. All right, now, nice, beautiful. Yeah, remove them. Once you see the eggplant's nice and cooked, or another good indicator is when you can see that they start to float to the top. Yeah, that's when you also know that the fish is cooked as well. Beautiful. Now set this aside. Then we're going in with our bitter gourd. All right, once they're cooked, remove them. This is going to be a feast. Now, if you're not a fan of deep frying your foods, what you can always do is cook this in soup. All right, make a nice fish soup and then just chuck it in, okay? But I love deep fried stuff, so I'm gonna deep fry them. Tofu in. And the capsicums can go in as well. When you find that your oil has a lot of debris sort of just lying around, floating about, it's very important that you strain them. These debris are going to darken the oil, and you don't want your nice sort of Yong Tau Foo to have black spots all around them. You want to make sure your oil's always clean. Okay, chili. And of all that I've done, we've got chilies, bitter gourd, capsicum, eggplant. This is my favorite of all. Mamma mia. Crispy on the inside, nice, bouncy, succulent fish paste on the inside. Absolutely delicious. All right, so now we're going to make a sauce for this Yong Tau Foo that we've done. Now, there are a variety of ways that Yong Tau Foo is usually being served. You can serve it as it is like this, and then you have your dipping sauce of the sweet sauce and chili sauce together. Or you can make a sauce and sort of pour it over, and it absorbs all that flavor from the sauce. So it really is a matter of preference. But this is pretty much as good as done, and you can serve it as it is. Okay, so we've got some garlic here that I'm just mincing up. Got about 5 cloves of garlic. Get some oil in. Garlic goes in. Get that nice and fragrant. All right, now we're going in with bean paste. Yeah, this is an Asian bean paste. 2 tablespoons of bean paste. Saute this together, get it nice and fragrant. This will give a nice sort of body to the sauce. Once that goes in, now I'm going in with water. It's about 600-700 mLs of water. Some oyster sauce, about 2 tablespoons worth of oyster sauce. Well, this is about done. Put some water in and shake it all about. Give it a good shake. Off you go. There we go. And soy sauce. You don't want to over season because the bean paste is very savory. And because we use water, yeah, I'm going to be adding in some stock. Here I have anchovy stock. Oh no, it's all dried up. It's all right. Okay, now I'm putting in about, say, 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. Mix some water in, give it a good mix. Now once our sauce is boiling, yeah, it's been simmering for about 5 minutes now, so that all those flavors in there sort of marry together into something that's absolutely delicious. We're going in with the cornstarch. Once you pour the cornstarch in, let it come back to a boil again so you can judge the consistency that you prefer. Now, the whole idea of giving it a bit of consistency is so that the sauce sort of sticks onto our Yong Tau Foo here. If the sauce is too runny, nothing's really going to stick. You want the sauce to sort of cover, yeah, a little bit of the Yong Tau Foo, so when you eat it, you get that sauce, you get the Yong Tau Foo flavor. Last but not least, just about a teaspoon of brown sugar. Now this is just to round up the flavor. We're not really gunning for something sweet, just to round out that savoriness in this sauce. This is the consistency that you want. Beautiful. Turn off the heat and let's pour this over our Yong Tau Foo. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my version of Yong Tau Foo. It smells absolutely delicious and I cannot wait to eat this. All right, now for a quick test. You bite into the fish paste, it's nice and succulent, but at the same time it's got a nice sweetness of prawns in there. And occasionally you find this bite of coriander that's in there that's nice and refreshing. And at the back of it, you've got that nice fragrance of the shallots that's inside this fish paste. And again, guys, I mean, although everything is filled with the fish paste, but the difference comes with the different vegetables that it's filled in. So you get a variety of different vegetables, the taste that it comes with. And when you bite into the fish paste, you can see that the spring onion and the coriander is present in there as well. I hope you give this dish a try. It's a perfect dish for a weekend where you can get your relatives or your family involved in prepping the vegetables, stuffing them especially. Kids would definitely love to help you out in that. And this can be served together with white rice, or you can have this with some noodles. It's completely up to you, or just as it is. I usually have my Yong Tau Foo just as it is. And at the end of it, you're so full, but you're full with vegetables and fish. I mean, can't get healthier than that. Of course, the deep frying can be opted to, as I mentioned earlier, cooking it inside a broth. Everything here can be turned into a soup version, all right, where you cook everything inside a broth if you're opting for something healthier and not so greasy. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you give this recipe a try once again. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Ciao.